Hey everyone, and yeah, CBC, yeah, you should be on notice too. Don't get too cozy, don't get too comfortable. We know that you're out there politicizing everything, basically. I mean, almost everything is now placed on the political table so that people don't even understand, hey, is there such thing as right or wrong? Is there anything that's objective versus subjective anymore? No, not according to CBC. Everything's been politicized. And you know what? The same has been happening with the establishment media outlets in the U.S. as well. And we're seeing both countries are starting to feel the heat and feel the financial and economic consequences for doing so, for becoming too complacent, for becoming too conformist, for becoming basically the propagandist arm of the government. Especially those that promote collectivism and leftism. Your days are numbered. We live in the age of information. We live in the age of social media, folks, where people can get their news and you don't have to keep. That's the thing that I just don't understand why it is those in the media. You really, are you folks, are you that dumb, naive, or so complacent that you just don't realize that your entire model can be upended like that? And you're in perilous danger because it's not just a matter of the fact that you'll lose your job or your income or your livelihood. No. The people aren't just mad enough to the fact that, oh, we want these people to be fired. People are pissed off at the fact that you've been fucking misinforming them and lying to them and misrepresenting the truth and facts and causing hatred and division and animosity among the populace. Like I say, people are very, very much ready and willing to just put an end completely to even dealing with those in the established media. And that is a scary and sad proposition because those in the media, hey, you should be out there properly informing the people. I respect those that at least put an attempt, even if you put a little bit of political spin on it. Hey, do your political spin if you want. Matter of fact, you want to have those stupid panels there you bring on like at CBC. That's fine. Break 3 or 4 people in there. But can you at least get fucking 1 or 2 of them in there that disagrees with each other? Or creates a narrative that's counter to those that are promoted or part and parcel of the establishment? Really? Because if you don't give the people at least some options, well, it just makes it so easy for them to see that you're just a propagandist outlet, and no wonder nobody wants to support the media anymore. I don't. Matter of fact, I am part of the new media. And why? Because I realized that there's a void there, and it's got to be filled. And I figured, well, I guess there's only a few people that are willing to step up the plate or have the courage and conviction or capacity or willingness to do so. So, hey, I guess I'll do it. I never chose when I was younger. Believe me, I'm the kind of person, this is not anything I thought I would ever be doing at any time in my life. But you know what I mean? Hey, I realize how important it is because truth matters. Objective, reason, logic, proper morality, ethics, principles, philosophy, it all matters when you're talking about dealing with people in any particular geographical landmass or country, socially or economically. The very fabric, the very foundation of any society relies on people being properly informed. And hey, if the established media ain't going to do it, like I say, I'll step up the plate. The National today, CBC News. U.S. media stands up to Trump but can't stop industry's financial freefall. Now, you know the same's happening in Canada. I mean, the Trudeau Liberals already propped up the CBC with more, hundreds of millions of more taxpayer-funded dollars, taken forcefully from the Canadian people to subsidize this propaganda, this arm of the government. And now we're seeing it there, whether it's the Globe Mail, the Toronto Star, or a lot of these other, used to be at least somewhat of a quasi-private institution or corporation as far as disseminating news and information to the people. Well, now they're even looking to lobby the government to have their own establishments propped up or bailed out. And why it is, it's not just about switching from old style media to new style, because they can all put the shit online. But what it is the Canadian people, why would the Canadian people, or why would anyone, why would the American people want to pay to be misinformed? Very few people actually want that. Some do, I get it. But in this modern age of information, it's like, why would I want to pay you people to lie to me? I can get the truth somewhere else. So that's where they're going. And that's where they reside. And that's where they should be going. Because truth matters that much. And offering people, counter opinions, counter narratives, and at least a breadth of perspectives, well, that's how you probably educate and inform people. If you give them just one-sided answers or one ideologically driven answer, are they truly being informed? Well, I guess that would be open to interpretation in regards to the kind of information they're being given. But like I say, competition, even if you reject some of the competition, even if you don't like what you're hearing from other people, at least you have that option. But you take that out of the equation, and then once again, it's just propaganda. It's just one-sided narratives. It's just an echo chamber. Donald Trump isn't big on backing down. And so it was this morning after more than 350 U.S. newspapers published coordinated editorials denouncing the U.S. president's repeated assertions that the press are enemies of the people. Listen to this, folks. This right here, this is just proof positive that the media is completely lying and misrepresenting already just within the first couple of sentences of this article. 350 U.S. newspapers. Just look it up. Hey, don't go by what I got to say. Trust me, you'll find this information all for yourself, all by yourself. Matter of fact, you can even use Establishment Media or news organizations to figure out who the actual owners are and who owns all these 350 U.S. newspapers. And it's all, every one of them, you can follow that tree and it all breaks down to, at the very root, there's only, what, 5 or 6 corporations that dominate the entire news industry in the U.S. So you can say 350 newspapers, but they're all owned, and the editorial board and the kind of rhetoric and political position is all dictated and dominated by a very, very, very tiny group of people. So stop trying to present this narrative as if, oh, it's just 350. Why didn't you tell the truth to the people and say, oh, it's, yeah, there's 350 newspapers, but yeah, they're all owned by basically a couple dudes. That would be properly informing the people. I'm doing it. Why can't you do it? The 72-year-old made his real estate fortune on the backs of the press, feeding and sustaining his brand through his countless media appearances and even coverage of his marital infidelities. The playbook was the same for his subsequent reality TV career, and then his climb from fringe candidate to the Oval Office, in which he benefited by some estimates from $5 billion worth of free media exposure. The media loved it just as much as they did because it's the only thing that made them even remotely relevant for a little while, right? That's the only way they get any attention, is by covering shit that's actually, you know, Trump is actually interesting. That's all. And the media loved every bit of it. They sucked it up. They fucking benefited by all kinds of clickbait articles and all kinds of bullshit, shit, sensationalized tabloid style reporting. But they're trying to pretend that it's all Trump's fault. Oh, you fuckers didn't benefit at all? No, not at all, huh? Right. So it should come as no surprise that Trump took the editorial page rebukes as an opportunity to advance the same headline-grabbing argument that he was being asked to abandon. Well, why you keep giving him the platform? He doesn't even need it. He's got to. Oh, wait a minute. That's right, too. Look, they're showing a Twitter feed. So I guess that's what it is, isn't it? Oh, he's using Twitter instead of now allowing you fuckers or going to you people so that you get the benefit. That's what it is. Oh, hey, wait a minute. We want in on the action, too. That's really what they're complaining about. If there is a war between the U.S. president and the American media, it's one he's likely to win, if only by attrition. Newsroom employment in the United States dropped by 23% between 2008 and 2017, a loss of 27,000 jobs, largely precipitated by failing newspapers, which shed 45% of their staff over that period. Television news employment remained flat, while digital media jobs grew, but not nearly fast enough to offset the overall decline. So what you're saying, contained right within this body is, no, new digital media is taking the place. What it is you guys just don't, guys and gals in the establishment, you just don't get to dominate that space anymore. Because like I say, that medium doesn't allow you to monopolize it. Right? Social media does not allow the establishment players to dominate anymore. And they're just like, well, we want to be able to dominate. And we can't stand to see someone else benefiting when we're not. And we don't like being stuck at the back of the bus. Boo fucking who. If anything, the print media freefall is now approaching terminal velocity, with 36% of large American newspapers and 23% of high-traffic digital outlets having gone through at least one more round of layoffs between the beginning of 2017 and this past April. And the larger the circulation, the more likely they were to have fired journalists. The situation is no better in Canada. Yeah, that's good. That's great. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're disrupting all you. Hey, like I say, we're breaking through the paradigm. Yeah, this is the age of information, folks. And in the age of information, ignorance is a choice. I love that phrase. More than 225 weeklies and in excess of 60 dailies have disappeared since 2010, including 36 small-town newspapers shuttered as part of a Torstar Post Media swap last fall, with another 6 killed in June. All the closures were accompanied by layoffs. Yeah, right, 2 companies. The Torstar and Post Media, all that swap. And you had, what, 36 here and 60 dailies there. So, yeah, like up to almost 100. And all owned by the same peeps. So, once again, same shit's happening in Canada. That's why competition matters, folks. That's why competition matters. Let me just say it again. That's why competition matters. The Canadian Media Guild counts more than 12,000 positions lost to firings and buyouts in recent years. And even the country's largest papers have drastically slimmed down, with the Toronto Star having shed more than 300 staff and the Globe and Mail in excess of 100 people since the beginning of this decade. And Rogers Media, still Canada's biggest magazine company, is now engaged in a desperate search for a buyer for its 8 remaining titles, including Chatelaine and Maclean's, after failing to find a sustainable business model via cost-cutting layoffs and reduced publishing schedules. I mean, come on, just read some of the articles from some of these publications, especially Maclean's. No wonder. Hey, try being honest with the people for once. I bet your business model will turn around real quick, but apparently you'd rather shoot yourself in the foot than be honest and objective. Apparently political ideology and sticking to the status quo and cozying up to your political masters matters more than your business model and maintaining employment for those people that you pretend that you care about. Anyways, I'll post a link to this article in the description of the video below. Once again, yeah, it's those of us in the alternative media, it's those of us that are actually offering the people, right, a counter narrative, some counter opinion, some pushback. We're the ones that are benefit, and the establishment media are losing out because they're just not, like I say, they seem to be inept and complacent and conformist to the point where they got nothing to offer anymore, and people are like, why do I want to listen to people that don't want to give me any honesty, don't want to be objective, don't have any courage or convictions to stand up and be principled when they're reporting on government? Why would people, when you look at them and you see that all they are is cheerleaders and promoters of big government, well, of course the people, especially most people that want to push back against that, of course they don't want to pay attention to you. Listen, we can get foolish narratives, misinformation, disinformation, propaganda, bullshit. Hey, all you got to do is go by the Inquirer or the Globe or some of these other tabloid media outlets. You can consume that if you want bullshit, if you want sensationalized lies and propaganda or fake news. There's all kinds of places to get that today, as you're hearing even by those in the establishment media. And that's what it is. The establishment media is like, hey, but we're supposed to be your fake news. I mean, your opinion makers. Don't look elsewhere. Please come back to us. No. The only way that's ever going to happen is if you actually stand up and start speaking truth to reason, actually holding the political or ruling class to account properly. But until that happens, yeah, watch your free fall continue. I know I will, and be reveling in every step of the way. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.